Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still he answered the call. And we said, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still he answered the call. And we said, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning then, you might as well go on today.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. We got a lot to talk about, starting out with Elon Musk and the Donnie. I spoke about this the other day and it went viral to a certain degree, giving my thoughts on Elon Musk's claim that Donald Trump was on the Epstein files or whatever the case may be, and how ridiculous that was, because it's not the flex that he thought it was. Because if he was associated with something that nefarious, then you would think you wouldn't have your kids around Donnie in the Oval Office. You know what I mean? So it didn't really manifest the way I think that Elon Musk expected it to. And I said yesterday in a prediction that I think the person that gets hurt the most in this situation is going to be Elon over Donald Trump. Donald Trump is essentially invincible. And the media has created this, and his election success have created this, where he is invincible. Elon Musk, with all the money he has, I think he thought he was on Donald Trump's level. Unfortunately for him, he's not on Donald Trump's level. But Donald Trump, in my opinion, has came out a lot more modest than I thought he would. He's now appearing to be the bigger person. Now, is he the bigger person? The answer is no. Both of them are silly for doing this. And I love Trump. I love him. But bruh, y'all grown. Two grown-tail men on Twitter going back and forth. Insane. However, I do think Donald Trump is taking a little more of a practical approach to this than Elon has historically done. And I did see a clip of Elon Musk saying, somebody had mentioned they hate that the two of them are fighting, they need to make up because it's better for the country. And that post is, I think we have it here, where it says, somebody said, Bill Ackman says, I support the real Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and they should make peace for the benefit of our great country. We are much stronger together than apart. And then Elon Musk responded, you're not wrong. Now, I think Bill Ackman is the Bill Ackman I'm thinking about. He's a billionaire, and I think he funded a lot of conservative stuff, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. All right, so let's go back to the clip of Donald Trump calling in, or CNN calling Donald Trump to ask him about this issue. Roll the clip.
Joining us now, someone who just got off the phone with the president. CNN chief Political correspondent Dana Bash joins us now by phone. Dana, what did he tell you?
Good morning, John. Well, he said that he's, quote, well, here's exactly what he said, quote, "I'm not even thinking about Elon. He's got a problem. The poor guy's got a problem." He said he won't be speaking to him for a while, but he said he wishes Elon Musk well. It was a short conversation. He didn't seem very exercised about it. And the interesting thing is, of course, the context of this is how many people who are in both men's orbits are trying to broker a peace deal, so to speak, and trying to get them to talk because of the concern about the fallout in so many directions. I mean, the blast radius from this fallout is really, really big and very wide. But right now he said he's not interested in that, and he's moving on. And in typical Donald Trump fashion, John, he, before I even asked the question, wanted to talk about what he wanted the storyline to be today, about the economy. He was talking about gas prices. He said he was waiting for the jobs numbers to come out, which I think is about 2 minutes from now. So as he has done his entire career, not just political, but since he was a businessman, trying to push out the narrative and push out the story that he thinks is the most advantageous for him, and he thinks that's the economy now. But of course, we did briefly talk about Elon Musk, and the headline is he says he has no plans to talk to him right now.
Yeah, just to reiterate, again, because the story overnight has been a whole slew of people working to tone things down and to de-escalate. And he's telling you, I don't want to talk to him right now. And then he also threw that elbow saying that, the poor guy's got a problem. So, if Elon Musk is waking up this morning, he might read that, I imagine, as a new insult.
Hold on a second. I just want to make this clear, y'all. I'm showing you this to show you what's on the news, but let me help interpret this for some people that may not be aware. Nobody's thinking about this as much as they think they are. Nobody's taking their kid to school today and like, man, I can't believe Elon Musk, or at least I'm invested into the argument between two billionaires. One being the most powerful man in the world, the other one being one of the most richest men in the world. I think the average American person probably don't even really know what the feud is all about. They're not sitting there watching every, jot and tittle that's going out about this topic. It's just not happening. Now, CNN would like to make you think that this is the most explosive happening on planet Earth, and they think it's kind of odd that Donald Trump will revert back to what matters to the American people. I'm telling y'all, this is going to blow over. And him and Elon Musk going to be friends again, and we're not going to even hear about this no more. So that's why I try to encourage people not to get too emotionally invested in either side of it. I give my commentary on who I think is right and just reporting on what's happening. But at the end of the day, these guys are going to be friends again. Remember Marco Rubio, Lil Marco? Remember Ted Cruz, Lion Ted? I mean, Donald Trump has literally had beef with just about everybody, and they end up being cool. I think Ted Cruz is sitting next to him right here. So don't get all worked up about this stuff. It's not what you think it is. I do think that it's a bad look in a small window for conservatives because it's so childish to me, regardless of both of them talking. If I were to be in this position and they ask me, what do you think about Elon Musk? I'd be like, I'm not finna talk about him. I have no comment. I'm here to talk about the American people. I will call Elon on the phone later. This has nothing to do with the public. Don't ask me about this again. I'm a grown man. He a grown man. I'll set up a meeting with him and we'll talk through our issues. But he said this on social media. He did what? On social media. Okay, that's all I need to know. What am I responding to social media about? Let's talk about the economy. And that's exactly what Donald Trump has done. But there is still consequences to these actions. So with all that I said, and I think it's going to blow over, there's still consequences. Let's go to a few things. I want to read off Tesla stock dropping, which is going to come back. It's going to bounce back at some point. But right now, the stock has dropped 14% on June the 5th, following a public feud that we have just addressed. Loss in value about $150 billion in market value was erased in one day. The current price of Tesla trading is at $301 today. So if you plan on, and I don't suggest that people, gamble and speculate with their money, which is going and buying Tesla stock right now is gambling and speculating with your money and stock picking and doing all that stuff, which has no real relevance in whether or not you're going to be successful at one point. You're gambling, okay? But if you want to gamble, buy the stock while it's cheap, because at some point it's going to go up. The stock rebound about a negative 6% on the second after its initial crash. So it came back up, I say -7, it's -6. It came back up about 6% between the 5th and the 6th, like I told you it would. And we know it will continue. Tesla is still down 26% year over year. So with the leftist lunatics blowing up Teslas and doing all that to his fallout with Donald Trump, it's not a good look financially for him, okay? Let's go to Scott Jennings discussing the fallout between Elon Musk and Donald Trump, because I like to hear what Scott Jennings has to say. Roll it.
Abby,
Is that a bag for you to breathe into?
no, this is what
Okay.
I'll be pouring this in my Newsnight mug tonight.
Oh, Lord.
Pepto-Bismol is what we all need here in the Republican Party.
Thought it was some Jack Daniels.
We're beyond
They
that.
might need that too.
I'm just, first of all, I just want to, I know that we have our differences here sometimes, but if you could just, if you could give me a little dispensation for the next hour and not beat me to death. This is, look, here's the deal. The goals.
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to defend either of these men. You could just
I'm
tell
not,
us.
and here's the problem.
What you think
Here's
really
the,
ought to happen
Here's
here.
the problem. They both have a point. Trump's agenda is in the bill, and he wants to pass it. That's his point. Musk is not wrong about the national debt, and he deeply cares about this, and that's his point. So their goals are not mutually exclusive, which is, I think, the rub. And for all these Republicans out here who, like me, have really enjoyed this coalition, this partnership. I mean, I firmly believe that the relationship and the partnership they formed last year saved America and put us on a path to saving Western civilization. And now this puts that in jeopardy. And so it's not just about the daily policy quibbles, it's about the larger cultural things that are at play. So I'm going to have some of this tonight and hope for better days and better skies tomorrow, because I still love them both, and I hate it when mom and dad are
Go
fighting.
ahead and take a sip, Bakari. I mean, Elon Musk is calling in.
So anyway, if you wonder what's going on with men in America, zesty Bakari Sellers that sit next to him is the problem. Go back to the Zest pool. Go back to him. I just want y'all to see this real quick, just so you know. Bakari Sellers that's standing next to him. Just go back just a little bit. Go back just a little bit, right here. When you zesty like this, man, this is why you're a liberal. This is why you believe in all this ridiculousness. And we'll get to the debate with what they believe in a minute. But I want to play Mike Johnson calling out the behavior between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Roll the clip. Roll it.
I thought you were supposed to have a conversation yesterday with Elon. Did that happen, or was it just texts?
Well, we exchanged text messages yesterday. I spoke with him at length on Monday, and that's why the kind of the blow up that happened this week was very surprising, disappointing to me. We had a very friendly conversation. I really like Elon. He's a friend. I've come to truly respect his acumen. The Doge effort was heroic, patriotic, helped us find a lot of savings and abuses that Congress was not able to uncover previously. So huge contributions. And look, we can have policy differences. We have that here in this building, every day, but it's not personal. It shouldn't be personal. I don't tell my friend Elon I don't argue with him about how to build rockets, and I wish he wouldn't argue with me about how to craft legislation and pass it. But we've had some good discussion. I thought it was helpful, fruitful, but it's just disappointing. I hope it all resolves today. Look, these are two titans. I respect them both. I'm of course a huge fan and supporter of President Trump. I was with him in the Oval Office yesterday afternoon when some of this was unfolding, and he was disappointed. I was disappointed. I just hope it resolves quickly for the sake of the country. Which is reasonable decorum, right? I mean, I think that it should resolve. I think that it's silly. I think that they need to stop this. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me. Now, here's a skit of a phone call that somebody put together that I thought was pretty funny. just listen. Before y'all get mad at me, Donald Trump he's making fun of Donald Trump more than anything in here. Don't
be mad at me. Get over yourself. It's a joke. I thought it was funny when I watched it, even though Donald Trump was saying some crazy stuff according to this character guy. But I thought it was absolutely hilarious. So if you got a sense of humor, you would think it's hilarious too, at least in part. But I wanted to show it because I saw it yesterday and I literally shared it with everybody I knew, even my wife. Wrote a clip.
Hello?
Seriously, dude, like what the F?
Is this about Epstein?
No, like I told you that in confidence.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't.
I told you that. I thought we were besties. I really did.
Well, so did I. Donald.
Well, look.
But I wanted
no,
to cut spending.
that's
I wanted to cut spending, so.
I was going to take you to the island. I was going to take you. Remember that? I was going to take you there.
You were?
We were going to have a good time, and you ruined it. You botched it. You botched it so badly. So badly you botched it.
I just really wanted to make government efficient.
No, this is unforgivable that you would say that.
Well, you left me no choice, Donald.
This is like hoes before bros level betrayal. That's
well, I have a lot of those. So.
And I was going to give you hoes. I was going to take you there. I still know where it is.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's so wrong. It's so wrong.
Well, you left me no choice.
I let your little kid wipe boogers on my desk. You know that. In front of the press, I let him wipe little boogies, beautiful boogies, but I let him do it. I let him do it because I believed in our country. And I wanted you to be a part of that.
I know, but you screwed it up.
You botched it so badly. It's unbelievable.
I didn't botch it.
You know what? You don't have the cards right now. You don't have the cards. I'm going to go burn my Tesla. How do you like that? You like that?
Oh, you go for it. Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
I was never even there, and you know that. I was never there.
What, on Epstein's Island? Yes, you were.
We can ask Epstein himself. I'll call him. I'll call him right now.
Oh, really? How are you going to do that? He's dead.
Oh, you think he is?
Well, yeah.
Jeff.
I thought it was funny. Comment in the comment section you think it's funny. See, a whole bunch of people in the comment section had a little smiley faces. Even though he's getting on Trump more than Elon, I thought it was funny. Little boogies. Beautiful boogies. I swear that's how Donald Trump talk. He will say something and he'll add an adjective on it or something. He'll just say, well, you know, it was something big, but it was extremely, like it's a good deal. But it's an extremely good deal. The boogies, extremely great bugs. I almost said something that didn't sound like boogers. You heard me. I almost said it. I almost had to repent right on this show. It rhymed with goobies. Would it be? All right, let's move on. So I think I beat the dead horse about this topic. At the end of the day, I think they will resolve it. At the end of the day, it's just like family fighting. They fighting in public, which is ridiculous. But eventually they'll be cool again. All right, let's talk about Trump and Epstein real quick, because I think that there is some people in the left, especially, they want to draw a connection between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And I just want to debunk any of these mythical connections that people think that they have. If you watch a documentary on Epstein or you know anything about Epstein, Epstein had contact or mentioned people or called people or flew with people or mingled with people or fundraised with people. Every single person of his age group, that demographic, he was somehow connected to him. Donald Trump was a mover and a shaker. He was connected to him. Clintons. I mean, you go down the list. Every single person had some photo or some connection with Jeffrey Epstein. The difference is it a pedophilic connection, or is it the fact that this guy is randomly at a party and he say hello, you say hello, you have no idea that this guy is a maniac? Okay, so let's start with a couple clips. I'm going to play a few, and then we're going to talk through them. We'll start with this first Newsmax clip. Wrote a clip.
Of a Mar-a-Lago party shows Trump giving Epstein his personal attention. The footage, shot in November of 1992, before Trump opened the resort as a club, shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance on Faith Daniels' NBC talk show.
We're going to get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests, among them the financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Come on in. Go inside.
More than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them.
Well, back then,
Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling Epstein about the cameras. Though exactly what they say is difficult to understand as they discuss the women and their appearances, Trump gestures to one and appears to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there. She's hot." And then Trump says something else into Epstein's ear that makes him double over with laughter. But as the president...
Now, you know the left want to just make this out to be bigger than what it is. Donald Trump, 10 years before Epstein ever pled guilty to anything, Donald Trump, a man, is with another man looking at women. Is that shocking to you? I don't know. I don't know what planet you on if you think that's shocking. Every single man, I don't care if they're a Christian or not, I'm going to be honest, they looking. Now, some people, see, Nick, you said that too loud and fast. Whether you're Christian or not, you may look. Now, how long you look and how much you lust is dependent on your relationship with God. But men gonna look. Men are gonna say, "Yeah, that girl is beautiful. That girl is beautiful." Single men will definitely say that. So it's not odd to me that these women who are showing up at his party dancing like this, and they were struggling. I think women now dress a little better back then. They didn't have nothing to choose from back then, boy. Them women dressing horrible. But anyway, that two men are talking about women is like, what you want them to be talking about men? I mean, they're going to talk about beautiful women that show up at these parties and dancing, and the women are doing the same thing the men doing. They back there dancing going, "Girl, you know, I heard he got a lot of money." You know, I was driving that plane with Donnie, and Donnie liked to get freaky on the plane. They saying all that. You think women don't say that? This is the problem with society. They think men are the only ones that got a mind that they got to regulate. Women got the same mind. That's how the man end up with the woman. You think women ain't behind the scenes being like, "Oh man, he looks so good. He da. That's why when a man come up to and say, "Can I get your number?" They already ready. Boop, 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 boop. Get your number. Anywho, I'm supposed to be disproving this with Epstein thing. Let's continue on. I got a couple more clips. Epstein's lawyer, there's nothing related to Epstein. I think it's a tweet. So this is from Epstein's lawyer, right? And he said, "I was hired to lead Jeffrey Epstein's defense as his criminal lawyer 9 days before he died. He sought my advice for months before that. I can say authoritatively," I think I'm saying that like that right. It says authoritatively, unequivocally, and definitively that he had no information to hurt President Trump. I specifically asked him. Now, just because you asked don't mean he's telling the truth, right? He did. But that is a decent indication that Donald Trump, even the lawyer of Epstein, is saying that there's no there. All right? Let's go to, which one is that? Let's go to Kesh Patel. They were talking about this on the Joe Rogan show. No, just Kesh Patel talking about this in general. Roll the clip, and then we'll go to Joe Rogan next. And that's clip 5 and then 4. Roll it.
Since we were talking about fake news, this is going to come up because it's been going on since we've been recording here. Elon and Trump seem to be in a bit of a spat, Joe. You want to check the tweet that Elon just put out a little bit ago?
Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Jesus Christ.
I'm not participating in any of that conversation
What is
between
he?
Elon
Have
and
a
Trump.
nice day, DJD. So much gets thrown away.
They're going back and forth about different things. And
Yeah. Listen,
Well, he said he was disappointed in Elon.
yeah, they told him to leave.
Jesus Christ, that's a crazy thing to say. How does he know? Does he know that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files? Or does he have access to the Epstein files?
I don't know how he would, but I'm just staying out of the Trump Elon thing. That's way outside
What
my
the
lane.
fuck are they doing?
I know my lane, and that ain't it.
I just don't. I mean, I understand he owns Twitter. I think it's bad for your mental health. I think posting things public all day and arguing with people all day is bad for you.
That's funny. All right, let's go to the other Joe Rogan clip.
Again, we're going to give you everything we can, and people have to remember, we're not going to re-victimize women. We're not going to put that shit back out there. It's not happening, because then he wins. Not doing it. You want to hate me for it? Fine. again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
If you have access to it.
If I have it, period.
Right.
If I have it.
So
where else would it be?
Right. If you have it.
Right.
But you can't say that you have it.
No, we're giving you everything we have.
So far.
Everything we have so far is
Have
the
you guys
universe.
gone over all the video that's available?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's what takes so much time.
Right.
And
is there video from the island?
not of what you want. The people out there have filled the void with can't wait to see X, Y, or Z.
Right, speculation.
And I'm like, here's the other thing I've been asking for, right? Openly. If you have information on this, call us. Tell us. The best resource we have is the American people in the world.
All right, let's go to the next thing. It was the one with Epstein. The clip 3. Is that this one or is?
The only thing that I can say about President Trump is that he is the only person who, in 2009, when I served a lot of subpoenas on a lot of people, or at least gave notice to some pretty connected people that I wanted to talk to them, he is the only person who picked up the phone and said, "Let's just talk. I'll give you as much time as you want. I'll tell you what you need to know," and was very helpful in the information that he gave, and gave no indication whatsoever that he was involved in anything untoward whatsoever, but had good information that checked out and that helped us, and that we didn't have to take a deposition of him.
And that was in 2009?
That was in 2009.
So that was one of Epstein's lawyers articulating that Donald Trump didn't have anything to do with it. If you know, I don't know if you know or not, but Donald Trump banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago in the early 2000s. Trump reportedly banned him from the Mar-a-Lago club after Epstein was accused of inappropriate behavior towards a young woman at the resort. So Donald Trump, way back then, took action against Epstein. Following Epstein's 2008 conviction for soliciting minors, Trump publicly stated he was not a fan of Epstein and had not spoken to him in years. These are reports from lawyers. Pretty much, I felt like that watching that little film that they just try to throw out there was easily debunkable. And what we know about Donald Trump and what we know about his character versus Epstein is very clear here. I think they want to make a connection between Trump and Epstein, but here's the thing. I think if Donald Trump was on any Epstein list or any Epstein files, the Democrats would have been shouting it from the mountaintop. There is nothing significant about Trump's involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. I just know it to be I almost feel like I know it to be a fact. All right, let's go to a couple other things. I want to talk about these two Transformers running in this race in California, and it's completely ridiculous. Viewers' discretion is advised. Now I say this a lot, and I'm going to always say it because there's new people watching me every day, and there's some people that ain't watched me in a while that used to watch me. They going to hear it again and again and again. There is no mother freaking way that you can articulate to me with any level of clarity or believability that these transgender people don't have an advantage. They are operating or batting at 100%. That means when a transgender is in the race, they win. Here is an example. You have 4 girls and 2 boys in this race. I put your money on who you think wins. I will put my life on almost every single race that ever occurs when you have trans people in it and girls that the trans person is going to win. Now watch this video and you tell me, do you expect anything different to happen? Not only are these dudes bigger than these girls, but the white one is beating the brakes off of them. First and second place. It's not a coinky dink. Roll the clip. Look how much bigger they are than these girls. Big Tony and Larry running in this race. Look at them. that. There is no advantage to being trans. It ain't. Pause it. Now, with them big old shoulders, they be trash as boys. That's why they running as girls. I just want y'all to know. I'm looking at that form, and homeboy will get toe up from the flow up running against boys. That's why they do the little transition, and they get them beat the living daylights out of these girls. They probably broke a record. Roll the clip. Look at that. The Hilla Killer is holding the camera, but look at that. Now, explain this to me. How are we still having a conversation about this in 2025? Every single race that you see that biological men are in, racing against girls, they whooping the socks off of them. I hope that these people don't go to hell for this. That's my new saying. I hope they don't go to hell. At first I was saying I hope they go burn in hell, but I hope they don't go to hell. This is so egregiously inappropriate that it's mind-blowing to me. So biological males who identify as females are competing in women's sports, as we see all around the country. The transgender athletes often dominate competition, beating biological females by large margins, which is what you have already seen. And these has led to many female athletes losing scholarship titles and opportunities that they earned through years of hard work and training. And there is no wonder that they continue to do it because daddies are wussies. We're ready to go into Father's Day. If your daddy is watching these girls get toe up from the floor up by biological men, then don't say Happy Father's Day to him. If you a man and you ain't standing up against this crap, and your kids out there getting bludgeoned, you don't get a Happy Father's Day. You ain't a real man. You not a father. There is no way a real father is watching his daughter run around the track and watching these boys just beat the brakes off of them. And there would have been, your daughter technically would have been second or third place, but now she out of the race. And the girl that would have had the gold title could have been first or second place. Now she got third. She could have went first or second. That would have, if you look at, go back. If you watch the race, most of the other people involved in the race are competitive. Go back. Let's go right to the finish. Let me see if my theory is correct. It's hard to tell because the boys are way in front of everybody. It's hard to see it on there. Don't worry about it. But generally speaking, you can clearly see who's ahead of the game and who's behind the curve. All right. I think that's enough of me beating that dead horse. I want to play this video real quick. And this is about this police interaction between a young man. And I'll point these out because there's so many of these things going on online. And I think people need to stop listening to these internet lawyers. Listen to this traffic stop, and I'm going to break it down why this is absolutely ridiculous. And people need to stop doing this. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know if they think they're going to get out in court or something. You need to stop doing this. You're going to get shot, beat up, and killed. Roll the clip.
What's that? I don't. It's just your tints, man. Your tints are far too dark, and you got tints on the front windshield. You're not allowed to do that.
All right, I get that. I get that situated.
Are you the registered owner?
I get that situated.
Are you the registered owner of the car?
May I speak to a supervisor?
You want to speak to a supervisor in reference to what?
I just want to speak to a supervisor.
In reference to? I mean, I can get a supervisor out here. I just need to let him know what you're calling him out here for. You know what I mean?
Because I have these papers right here. Okay. So I'll get the tip took off.
Okay.
But if it's a problem, then I would like to speak to a supervisor.
What do you mean if it's a problem? Like if it's illegal?
No, like I know that it's not illegal because I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
Okay.
But I'm saying
you're operating a motor vehicle. I mean, we can agree on that.
So I'm just saying if that's a problem, then I would like to speak to a supervisor.
Okay, I understand that. I'll get a supervisor started out here. Right. Okay. You got your license or any sort of identification with you?
No.
You don't have any sort of identification?
No.
Do you have a Maryland driver's license?
I don't have a driver's license because I'm not driving anymore.
I know, I understand that. But you know you're operating a motor vehicle. You and I can agree on that. You say that you're traveling, I say you're driving. We can agree on the grounds that you're operating a motor vehicle, yes? You're currently in Baltimore County.
Can I speak to a supervisor?
I'm going to get I'm just explaining all of this out to you. I see you got your video started. I want to give you the best explanation that I can, okay?
Yes, sir.
So you and I can meet on the common grounds that you're operating a motor vehicle on Baltimore County roads in the state of Maryland. Yes? We agree on that. You're not driving, you're traveling.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with
I agree that I'm traveling.
You're traveling on Baltimore County roads in a motor vehicle that you're operating.
Can I speak to a supervisor?
Like I said, I'm going to get one started out here. No big deal. All right? I'm just going to grab your name real quick.
I am me Bay.
Are you the registered owner?
I am me Bay.
No, I understand that. Is this your vehicle? Or did you steal it? You borrow it?
I would like, can I speak to a supervisor?
Like I said, I'm gonna get one started out here. No big deal. All right?
All right, thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
You have insurance for the vehicle?
Can I please speak to a supervisor?
I'm gonna get one started out here. Like I said, no big deal. All right?
All right, thank you.
You mind if I look over this stuff?
Look over what?
Your paperwork right there. I just want to make sure I don't violate any sort of your code of ethics, all right? You mind if I take it and read it?
Yes, you can read it.
All right. Do I need to read that one as well?
That's an oath to that you guys take as to the office. That's the oath that you take.
Do I need to read that one as well?
This is just the court papers that back it up, but I would like to speak to a supervisor.
Okay, you mind if I read that? I'd like to. I mean, I'd like to understand a little bit more about what you're saying, you know.
Can I speak to a supervisor?
I'm gonna request a supervisor as soon as I go back to my vehicle.
Okay.
Like I said, I just want to understand a little bit more. I don't want to violate any sort of your code of ethics or anything like that. Okay, that's how we're gonna do it. I appreciate it. Hang tight for 1 second.
Now, I don't know if you guys have heard or have been privy to these sovereign citizen people, but quit doing this. You're not gonna win anywhere. You're in a motor vehicle operating on the roadway like everybody else, and we have to pay taxes for that roadway. You don't get to be exempt. We got to pay for that driver's license every year. We got to pay for that car insurance every year, because if you run into somebody, nobody want to hear you traveling. You driving a car that hit my car. You finna be traveling, all right? You finna be traveling. All right, I ain't gonna say that because I want to be saved. You're gonna be traveling, all right? It ain't gonna be where you want to go. But anyway, I just want to point that out. You got these people out here saying this. These things are not real. You can ask for a supervisor at a traffic stop, but you do have to have a reason, because when the supervisor come or shows up at the scene, if you don't have nothing there, he ain't finna somehow mysteriously help you. You're just gonna go to jail. You're just gonna get the ticket written by the supervisor. So I'd say don't waste your time doing that. I want to talk about this one last thing, or two more things I want to talk about. One is these maps. I know it's three more things. One is maps, minor attractive persons. Let's pull that clip up. For everybody that's saying that this is not a real thing and that this is not a part of the LGBTQ AARP, I told you guys, and if you watch me long enough, you know I've predicted this to happen. And I'm not the only one. It's not like I have exclusive information. It's that this minor attractive person is going to be added to the end of the LGBTQ AAP plus, or whatever they call it. That's why they have a plus. That's why they don't put all the letters out. Because to be honest, they can consolidate all those letters. But year over year over year, they're adding more stuff, and it's hidden behind the plus, so you'll never know it's a part of it. So when you go to agree, or you go to partner with, or you go to show solidarity with the LGBTQ AAP plus, you are essentially giving rights to and authority to and supporting also people that do this, that hide their acronym at the end of the iteration of random letters that they didn't add it up on. But I'm gonna let you hear him explain what a minor attractive person is. Roll the clip.
Have you fallen in love with a child before?
I have. I would rather die a virgin than harm a child.
When did you figure out that you were attracted to kids?
I was in 7th grade. A neighbor came to visit my grandfather with a 7-year-old daughter, and I looked up at her and I just was mesmerized by her beauty. And that's kind of when I first started to realize, wait a minute, my attractions go way lower than what I thought they did. I went through a couple of years of denial and kind of back and forth on it, but eventually, probably about the age of 16, I basically started to accept it. People go, oh, you can't, you have a hard time controlling yourself, you're gonna, you're destined to offend. I don't think that's true for most maps.
The map?
MAP, minor attracted person, non-offending MAPs exist. We are out there.
Yeah.
It's possible for MAPs to live a celibate life. I don't believe in conversion therapy. Best they can do is help us to cope and find ways to live with it without causing harm. Destigmatizing itself will help MAPs to come out of the shadows and to seek help.
So what do? They're trying to make a push to decriminalize this because they are saying, I feel this way, but I don't act on it. This is their way into the fold. When in reality, people just need to take responsibility for their own stuff. If you find yourself being attracted to it, you should be able to look in the mirror and say, I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like what? You're looking at a little kid and you go, oh, for some reason that kid is attracted to me. Then when you go home, you look in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm tripping. That actually makes no sense for me to think about it like that. Something is going wrong in my mind that I'm thinking like this and I'm wrong. And I need to stop thinking like this. I need to tell myself a different story because being attracted to a young person is crazy. And I think that people, if they're willing to say that to themselves, I think they can recover. But when you start making excuses for it and be like, oh, I'm just born this way. Really, bro? Really? Little kid, a 7-year-old? What about that is making you feel like that? No, something wrong with you and you need to get some help. The official diagnosis of pedophilic disorder in the DSM-5 is the person that's over, it's got to be a person over 60. I drink Synergy this morning. They have ongoing attractions to prepubescent children. They either act on these urges or feel distressed by them. With all this technology and efforts and energy that we've put forward, why can't people get the help that they need when they're struggling mentally on this stuff? They got a bipolar disorder, they got schizophrenia, they got schizoaffective, they got narcissistic personality. They got a whole bunch of other things that there's diagnosis of mental illness that they treat you for. Some of them you can get medication for. Why is it that they just let you be a pedophile or let you be gay or lesbian and all this other stuff? They just let you do it without any kind of assistance or help. Clearly something is not going right in your mind. I don't know why people can't admit to that. Like something's not right. That's like me wanting to beat up people. Like if I'm thinking like somebody made me mad, I'm like, oh, beat the, it's like, yeah, that's crazy to think like that. So let me compartmentalize this and say, yeah, I had that feeling, that emotional feeling to beat this person up over something very trivial, but that's wrong to think like that. That makes no sense. What is the consequence of this action? What is the underlying reason that I feel like I want to beat this person up? Let's go over that information before I diagnose myself and say, look, I want to beat him up personality. Same thing with attraction, man. If you're a man and you attract to another man, you got to look in the mirror and say, what is the underlying reason why I feel that I'm attracted to this person? And whatever that is, I need to tell myself another story. I need to live a different lifestyle. I need to start really compartmentalizing how I'm thinking about these circumstances and situations. And it's no different than straight people that are lusting after women every day. You look at women, you're like, okay, that's why am I sexualizing this woman in my mind? That's wrong. What I want to do something with her, that's like, if you've ever done it before, you realize that's not really worth it. It's a figment of your imagination. It's a fantasy in your mind that acted out in reality ain't gonna never be what you thought it was. So it's a wrong thought that needs to be checked. It is a negative consequential thought, and it's harmful to your psyche over time. So think it through and make a different decision. I hate when I see people just make these excuses about, oh, this is how I am. I can't never be nothing else but this, and that. It's like, no, man, you just making a decision to waddle and live in a reality where you are a creepy person. Instead of you making the move to say, I'm wrong and I need help and I need to rethink how I'm viewing these things. That's the same thing when a man gets to a point in time in his life where he cannot no longer perform in the bedroom, if you know what I'm saying. what do you think that man is going to tell himself? Is something wrong? No, you pass that point where you can perform. I'm saying if you old. I'm not talking about if you're young and something wrong with you, you're some dysfunction. You probably need to drink some milk. But I'm talking about an adult that have to come to the reality that I'm old. I'm not like I used to be. Like that country music say, I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once if I ever been. Y'all know that song. No, you ain't even good once. So with that being said, you have to compartmentalize and say, yeah, I'm not going to leave my wife because I'm to the point in the age where I'm not really performing like that. And I'm going to go leave her because I want to get some new stuff. You got to put it in perspective and say, that don't make sense for me to do that. And I'll just say this because it was on my mind. It's like men cheating on their wives. Like, at some point, you got to think, like, what do I have to lose? Everything. So is that really something I want to engage in? No. You got to be able to think through your compulsive behavior. And it is possible to do that for not only straight people, but also people that are MAPs and all this other stuff. And I'm not really sure if you guys are familiar necessarily with the MAP concept, but it's gaining a lot of popularity, to be quite honest. It's not as easy to make it mainstream. That's why they changed the name. You would be considered a pedophilic person with pedophilic behaviors, but they want to soften up the blow of the name and say, oh, no, you're a MAP, minor attracted person. They create an acronym to it so you could just water it down. It sounds just super nonchalant. I'm a MAP. I'm a MAP. I'm a MAP. Then before you know it, you don't know minor attracted persons. You just know the word MAP. And then people believe whatever they want to believe MAP to be, and MAP will be at the end of the LGBTQ, and then you'll never know the difference. And then you'll be doing shows for MAP people, not even knowing, or some of y'all probably accepted that it's ridiculousness. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Scott Jennings exposed the Democrats on health care for illegals. And the reason I'm doing this because I do want you guys to know and to be able to tell your family members, anybody that's coming out and they're acting as if they're supporting the party that loves America and they're not supporting the party that loves America. There's no way in the world you can have this stance that's against what Scott Jennings is saying and act like you actually love America. To be honest, they never have, they never will. They only want to siphon power and authority from the people to live in their own leftist utopia. And not you live in the utopia. They want to live in a utopia. You're going to live in poverty, in the slums, in the ghettos, while they live in a utopia on your money. All right, roll the clip.
Everyone deserves health care.
Even illegals?
Every single person in the world deserves
Just for the
health
record,
care.
as a candidate, you're for illegal aliens getting Medicaid.
I think everyone in the world deserves
That's a
health
yes.
care.
That's a yes.
I'm such a
That's a Democratic
I mean,
position.
it is a yes, but
Yeah.
It's a Democratic
Everyone in the
position.
world
Illegal
deserves
aliens should
healthcare.
get Medicaid.
But I mean,
How is this controversial?
How is it controversial?
How is it controversial if they don't want someone to die in the hospital because they can't afford
Who do you
it?
think pays for health care when undocumented people show up at a hospital? Who pays for that?
We all pay for it.
Exactly.
including undocumented
we all pay
people
for
because
it.
they actually contribute.
That's the point. That's the point.
We do realize that
Who pays for the welfare system in this country generally? Taxpayers.
Are
you for it or not?
Can I start my logic train?
Are
with
you for it or not?
My logic train starts with the fact
just
that
say
I don't
yes.
want to kick 11 million people off
Do you
of
want
Medicaid.
the illegal aliens on or not?
Do I want first of all, do I want undocumented citizens to
Just
have
say
health care?
yes.
The answer is yes.
Scott, if someone is
More
undocumented,
Democrats.
do you want them to not get insulin
There you
if
go.
they're
Stop.
diabetic?
Pause it.
I want Medicaid.
And this is why I tell Nick, even though he's disgruntled over there a little bit with the Republican Party, I always tell Nick, like, as much as the Democrat or the Republican Party upsets you, or me too, the left is even further off a cliff. To openly say, because they backed themselves into a corner, to openly say, I support illegal aliens on taxpayer Medicaid or Medicare with health insurance is insane. I don't know how they looked at, I mean, she even regretting what she's saying. Look at how she slumped over. She's thinking about how ridiculous this sounds. And they've been backed into a pickle corner. And I say pickle corner, they backed into a pickle, or they caught up in a pickle and they backed into a corner. I put them together. And they can't come out of it. They have made such false, empty platitudinal claims that when they have to, explain it out in reality, they can't just come out and say, Yes, I want illegal aliens to be on Medicare with taxpayers paying for it. She said, I think everybody in the world should have health care. Really? That's the stupid, we got to pay for it? Everybody in the world. She can't even say everybody in America. She go, everybody in the world. What does that mean to you as a voter? That means that everybody in the world can come to America and get free health care. That's what she believes. And Bakari, with his sassy self, he can't even really, with a straight face, say that he think illegal aliens should be on our healthcare system. Roll the clip.
Medicaid to exist first and foremost for American citizens who need it. That is what
about second? How about this? When the people that are picking your peaches. Yeah, I'm passionate about Americans.
Passionate for the illegals.
Bakari,
No, I'm passionate for Americans.
How dare you want people to be alive? How dare you?
Passionate for the illegals. Bring more.
No, I actually want safe and secure borders.
You need more. To make your vision of America work, we need more illegals who get more benefits. That's your version of America.
No, what I want from America is a place that was promised to us, Scott.
To the illegals?
Like you do. No, it was promised to us. It was promised to us, not us, me and you, black and white, brown. Scott, do you think that your family was born here? You weren't born here, Scott.
I was born in
First of all, where does your family come from? My family wasn't born here. My family was actually from Sierra Leone.
You're making a passionate argument for a country built on unfettered illegal immigration, and that is not anywhere near a politically popular position.
Our country is built on immigration, period.
What kind?
Period.
What kind?
Okay. Oh, and first of all, before we go to commercial, what kind? What kind of immigration was I brought here?
You're already in the hole. You sure you don't want to stop digging?
No, because it was slavery. That's not immigration.
Come on.
Well, okay.
Come on, what?
All right, there's a lot to be said.
Hold on. No. But you can't say come on when somebody's like, my family was brought here in chains. The answer's not come on.
We're gonna.
You know, this is the funny thing about these stew heads, is that I thought he said his family came from Sierra Leone, first generation. Like he's the first generation American. This fool is talking about slavery. No, dummy, your family was born here, right or wrong. Then you got to go out a couple hundred years ago. But your family, generations, there are more generations that you know of that you can connect with. I ain't gonna say more generations, period. I don't know, because there can't be. I mean, the foundation of the earth, I think everybody started from the African continent, and then they begin to migrate everywhere else. But trying to make an argument to act like my people weren't born. You don't even know these people. You have no idea. This is 4 or 5 generations ago. Like stop with this mess. I don't get how. And then to be honest, a lot of us are deluded anyway, because we came over here like Nigeria. Most of my ancestry comes from Nigeria, but somebody white has mingled. That's why I'm light skinned. If not, I'd be the color of this beard. So what are we even talking about? And I did find that out. I looked at our lineage, and we have white people that are part of my lineage. My mama is a little lighter than me. Like, so stop with all this, bro. The bottom line is no American with common sense believes that people can just get into our country illegally and then get all of the benefits that we fight for. The problem is that some people can't afford insurance because the premiums are high, because they supporting all these people that shouldn't even be on insurance. 63% of Americans oppose using taxpayer money to fund health care for undocumented immigrants. And the Democrats are just doubling and tripling and quadrupling down. I really hope that people understand this. California, here's the status in California. Now covers all income eligible undocumented immigrants through Medi-Cal. 700,000 people is in Medi-Cal. It's like a Medicaid for California. There's about 11 million undocumented people getting covered in the United States of America. Most are ineligible for federal Medicaid, but some states are expanding coverage anyway. I want y'all to think this through. Think this through. We should think about this. Why would Bakari and other Democrats be so hell-bent on the government, the federal government, allowing federal subsidies to go to illegal aliens when the majority of them are already getting state-level benefits? Why do they not want the federal government should say, none of y'all It's up to the state to deal with you because you violated federal law by entering and remaining in this country illegally. So federally, they should get no support whatsoever. And I think they shouldn't get them through the state because most people in red states and most people who are logical, like, nah, bro, we need to take care of people first. These people shouldn't even be over here. Deport these people. We'll save trillions of dollars. And they act like every single illegal alien is over here working. It's like, bro, not all of them working over here. And when some of them working, they're not paying taxes. They may be paying sales tax when they go buy food and stuff, but they're not paying federal income tax. Many of them are not paying state income tax. A lot of these people are working as contractors. They're working under the table. They're doing all kinds of stuff. I see it all the time. Go to a food truck. Majority of them they taking cash. Okay. I could beat that dead horse into oblivion. Okay, last story. And this is Angel Reese. And the reason why I want to bring this up, I just want to finish the weekend with icing on the cake. Not only when Angel Reese says this, but when other women say this, consider the source. Women often complain about the whole gym thing. What? Do you want us to put full clothes on when we go to the gym? Yeah, some of y'all looking super unprofessional, bro. You got the booty stitch that go right up your booty crack. Nobody, like you got no time. You literally got a bra on and booty shorts on with your booty cheek hanging out the bottom of it. Like, why? Like, don't you feel uncomfortable with your booty out and all these men in here at the gym and then had the audacity to get mad at a man for looking at it? What are you doing, girl? You can see everything. You do a squat, you pretty much X-rated. Stop doing that. Why can't women take accountability for being modest? Then you ain't got to come in there with scrubs on, but like, can you at least put regular clothes on? This is what I would say. Do what you want, but don't get mad when people looking at you. Don't get mad when people sexualize you. And it's exactly the point that I'm making when it comes to Angel Reese. Listen to what she said and then watch what she ended up doing. And you showed me a video of Caitlin Clark doing it and I'll quit my show. Roll the clip.
I don't really get to stand up for myself. I mean, I have great teammates. I have a great support system. I got my hometown. I got my family that stands up for me. I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. And I just try to stand strong for my teammates because I don't want them to see me down and like not be there for them. So I just want to always just know, like, I'm still a human. Like, all this has happened since I won the national championship, and I said the other day I haven't had peace since then. And it sucks, but I still wouldn't change. I wouldn't change anything, and I would still sit here
I
and
can't
say,
listen
like,
to it no more. We'll get to the booty shaking in a minute. I said this yesterday in part. It's just, the disingenuous nature of the average human being is just beyond me. Angel Reese is literally making up a whole scenario that don't exist. I've been death threats. I've been sexualized. She's been celebrated, bruh. They won a national championship. They kissing her ashy elbows everywhere she go. She's celebrated in the WNBA even though she ain't even close to Caitlin Clark. They're not even close. I heard some stat that Caitlin Clark had some record that she broke in 46 games, and the girl that's behind her played 400 games. She did it in a 10th of the game. Oh, not a 10th of the games. 10 times less games. I don't know how to do that math. Maybe Nick knows. But you celebrating, they kissing your butt. You on Billboard magazines, and they stop all that. And then they go, well, you sexualizing me. Now, let me say this real quick. Many of you guys have been in a position where when you were younger, you were immature, and you lied about stuff, right? And you told yourself a lie so much that you start believing your own lie. Now, as a grown-up, doing that is crazy. Because you have to be even more evil to know and experience the lies that you told when you were a kid that you got in trouble for. Now you're an adult knowing the consequence of those lies, and the fallout of the lies, you still do it today, is insane. She literally sat up there and made up a false scenario to get sympathy, and none of it is true. Now let's go to the sexualizing part. I don't want to be sexualized. I don't want to be sexualized. Exhibit A. Roll it.
Big mama. Big mama. That big mama for real.
I didn't know that.
It's so proportioned though, like.
No, that's what I'm saying. She talking about 200.
It don't even look like it.
That's what I'm talking.
Yeah.
Send it to me. Now let me see your booty.
I see OnlyFans in her future because her WNBA career is not going to last that long. Okay, let's move forward. Let's go to her Instagram account. Just go to the Instagram account. I haven't seen her Instagram since the last time I did a video. I'm not saying this specifically against Angel Reese. This is for everybody that get out here and say these things. I just want clarity. I want accountability. We'll go to Angel Reese's Instagram account, and I just want to scroll through her pictures and just see what I see. And you tell me, is this a person that's crying and they're feeling? You got to go to one with a blue check mark. I'm probably blocked, so she probably blocked me. If you can't find Angel Reese blue check mark, she probably blocked me.
I'm searching right now. I'm getting absolutely nothing. She disables it a lot too.
She does. She probably getting so much backlash.
Yeah, it's not a bunch of fan accounts.
She's not on yours?
She must be disabled.
Oh, she's going dark. Probably because people are criticizing her over her provocative stuff. So she's doing that. She flashing booty, bouncing it. Hey, she know what she working with. But don't get mad if people approach you like that, right? When you got a big old booty and it's bouncing, dudes that like that are going to be in your DMs. They're going to be up under your comment section. They're going to be talking about Sexy Red. And then don't get mad at a press conference when you got people that's only coming after you because of a sexualized nature. Bouncing your booty in tights is sexualized. There is nothing professional about that. There's nothing non-sexual about that. Now, maybe some girls may think it's, but men looking at that, they only think one thing about you. And that's that you will go live. You know, back in the day when I was young, we used to call them go livers. I don't know what they call them now, but go livers mean they down for whatever. You give them a Hennessy or something, and they down for whatever. You know what I'm saying? You and the boys, like that's what some of these girls be doing. And I don't mean to talk like that. I'm trying to be a good Christian, but I'm just telling you what will go on in real life. And they be the first ones to say, I don't do this on the first date. They be the first one to say, I'm my body count, you know, which I'd never ask a woman a body count, but you can tell by her actions what her body count is. They the first one to say, I'm a Christian. In their bio is John 3:16, and they the nastiest women on planet Earth. I know people are at different stages in they walk with Christ and they different stages, so I get it. But like, at least attempt not to be a hypocrite. I saw a girl on a post, I don't know what profile I was looking at. This girl got baptized. I'm scrolling through the thing, right? This girl gets baptized. And I like to watch the full baptism video because I want to hear what the pastor's saying. And I have my opinions about people baptize people wrong. So I click on the full thing, right? Or click on her page, and then the baptism is right there. And I wanted to be happy for this girl. And I didn't. The next picture, which would probably have been, the next picture she uploaded, I think she tagged her baptism, was her in a thing with her breasts like this. I'm talking about the one of them could have fell out if she did this too many times. I just don't know how people contend with that. Like me being in really good shape, if I was in, you know, my tip top B Tatum shape, you know what I'm saying, 6-packy, I wouldn't post a picture with my shirt off on my page. because I'm supposed to be a Christian. I don't need to be posting my body on my Instagram. Like, wouldn't that be something that's second nature to a person that go to church and that has gone to church enough to get baptized? Would you think they'd be like, that's a lot of cleavage right there. What am I doing? Let me just put a shirt on that's regular. Wouldn't you think somebody would do that? Y'all agree with me? Like, it seems like the people that claim Jesus the hardest are the worst.
What if you show like a weight loss journey? Like you're fat.
Yeah, weight loss journey is different. You have a method to what you're doing. You show a fat picture, you show a picture where you're losing weight. If you are a fitness model, right, you're modeling your fitness, that is a different thing. But when you got the ones with the scrunchy booty stitch and you doing a squat with your booty hole out, like, that's crazy. A squat don't need to be from the back of you. You're looking at the squat from a side parallel view. It should actually be from the top side, so you can see the person going down, seeing how much they leverage their back, seeing if they're going parallel or close to parallel or not. That is a squat form. Maybe from the front side, but the back booty crack side, and you in the camera like this, doing the squat wrong, like you know what you doing. You know you're just putting your booty out there. Like, let me just say this. It's Friday and I don't care, right? It's Friday, I don't care day. You know, listen, and this may not be good for me to say this, but I'm just keeping it real. I have noticed a trend. If you are on Instagram and if a white girl has a nice booty, if you go through her profile, you're going to see her booty in it. If they don't have a nice booty, they're not gonna ever post with their booty in any picture. But if they have one, every other picture, it can be a conservative influencer, it can be a doctor, it can be a dentist, it can be a golfer, a person can be doing volleyball. They gonna put their booty out there every time. You doing golf? How your booty in golf? They put the little skirt on, so when they do this, the skirt pop up and they booty bounce like this. I thought we were learning about golfing. I thought you were doing a thing like this. You know you can put longer skirt on than that, right? You knew when you uploaded the video that your skirt hike up and your booty come out. I'm not trying. They don't make them long. You can put tights on under. Nick said they don't make them longer. All the girls he see their booty in. That's what you said, Nick? No, I'm joking. I'm finna mess him up. Girls gonna be like, hey, that's what you think about women? I'm making this up. He did say something, he was joking. But you can't put some tights on. I tell my wife, you put some tights on up under there. Cause if that wind blow, I don't want every man seeing you in a thong. We put them leggings on. You taking a risk. The wind blow, you bent over for something, you fall down or something, everybody gonna see all your goods. You put some tights on, baby. You shouldn't be trying to take a chance anyway. Women be having to sit down and put their hand and cross their legs because man to see your shenanay from way over here. Put some shorts on under there. Ain't no way I have my daughter walk around with booty hanging out. Put some shorts on. I don't care if you got a dress on. You gonna be looking like you playing basketball. You gonna have some you gonna look like a Mormon. You gonna have some underpants on. I don't want no way in the world some man seeing my wife private area. Cause she want to wear a cute skirt. Baby, put some tights on there. Even if you put some boxers shorts on there, just so if anything happened, your whole thing ain't coming out. I just don't get it nowadays, man. I don't get it, man. People just be fake. You know you're doing it. You can't look at a female doing nothing online. I know sex sells, and that's why a lot of them do it. But I do respect the women that are modest, though. I do go to. I don't go to her page now, but because it just would be a rigmarole. But one girl that I really admire, she run track. She's like the fastest woman in the world in the 300 hurdles. She's a Christian. Her husband was a football player, and they got a Christian family. Show me her dressing like a, you know what? Show me her with her booty out. You ain't gonna see it. Why? Because she's a woman of integrity that honors herself and is not displaying her goods to the public. And let's keep it real. Women that do that, they do it for attention. That's what they doing. Let's go to Donald Trump's girl, Margot. Not go to her page, but modest. You're not gonna see Margot on there with her breasts out and her booty cheeks bouncing around on her Instagram. She's modest. She's a respectable young lady. All young women should be aspiring to say, let me preserve a little of these booty cheeks and cleavage for my husband. The internet don't need to see all that, especially when you're supposed to be teaching a course on editing videos and your chest out. Am I right, Nick? Nick on there all day looking at that stuff. Am I right? Nah, it's really Trent. I'm just playing. I'm making this up, y'all. I just like joking with him. But I just will say that. I don't know, it's a pet peeve of mine, man, because Instagram will feed it to you. God is my witness. I go through on my discovery page and I click not interested. I find them not interested, not interested, not interested, not interested, not interested. And then I go back the next day and I'm scrolling through and all you see is cigars, sports cars, mansions, cycling, and then the conservative stuff. And then out of the blue, I see feet. I'm like, why y'all showing? I just said I don't want to see this stuff. Why y'all putting feet on my feed? And I swear, when you click on it to say you're not interested, they feature more of it. You'll see it disappear for like 1 or 2 days. I'll be not even on my discovery page. I'll be death scrolling through my feed. And I get people in the feed I don't even follow. How is this girl in my feed? I don't even follow this person. And this person has no mutual friends. Instagram will feed this content. They will do it. Whether you look at it or not, they will feed it to men, I think. I don't know what algorithm women get, but they will feed men algorithms of these girls who got their body showing. Anyway, Nick got to get out here early. Let me get the super chats and we're going to move on. Sorry, y'all, this wasn't a great show today, but hey, I just had to get a couple things on my chest. All right, listen, Pineapple said, laugh at now, no talk from the View about the Trump Epstein. You know why. That executive said, now if y'all want to be bald-headed and broke, then you better stop talking about Trump because you're losing ratings. Hello, Officer Tatum. Hope all is well. Appreciate you. Lucas says, I thought the plus was the the premium version of gay. That's hilarious. Elijah says, hello, sir. What's your opinion on the closure of Job Corp? Is it Corpa? All over America. Maybe it's Job Corps. It may be, yeah, it's Job Corps. I think he put an A instead of a S. But anyway, I'm an alumni of Job Corps. We don't kick our kids on the street because of failure. We talk to them and see other avenues so they can succeed. I'm not really sure about this Job Corps thing. So Elijah, I got to think it through. I'm assuming you're saying that you went through Job Corps, which allowed you to have a second chance and get a job and work through that process. And you're saying that Job Corps, which I'm assuming is a federal thing, which is why they're closing all over the country, or they're a national company that can't sustain. I'm not really sure how Job Corps works. If it's a federal entity and they're closing all over the country, I just think that that's a room enough to fill the void for some other nonprofit organization. Like, I think these avenues to help people get jobs and get on their feet is incredible and is useful. I think that responsibility is the church and the people, not the government. The government need to keep their hands out of personal affairs. It should be left up to the people, which I think that the government should allow for tax incentives and stuff like that for people who want to create opportunities like this. So that's what I will say. If the federal government is shutting it down, I'm happy the federal government is getting out of stuff. But I do think churches need to step up and incentivize nonprofits to go and feel the need and let people come together to help is the road to success for the future, in my opinion. All right. Love you guys. Monday will be a better show. I'll see you over the weekend. God bless you. God bless America. We out.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47